I live in Long Eaton.
Well, it's such a shame really when it's been here for such a long time, you know, it's like part of the family, isn't it? And it's just a shame, but they say it's going to be 5 years decommissioning or something like that, and to see, you know, it disappear will be such a shame. But no doubt I'll be there, hopefully, when they take it down and I've seen it built and see it take it down.
For me, especially when I'm coming home from like London or when I'm coming home from like anywhere up north, it's one of the places where it's like you can recognise it from when you're coming home and you're like, oh, I'm not too far from home, because like, I live like 10 minutes away from it, and it's like a landmark really. But yeah, and also especially because my dad works there, he's been working there for about, I think it's coming up to 4 years now, and obviously he's going to have to find another job if not.
Same as say, it used to be the backbone of the Britain, like, you know, and it still could be if they only got the act together, like, you know, and put the technology in to get rid of the CO2 gases and use it, like, you know. And what they're doing now, they're too reliant on imports now, like, and you've only got Putin stopping oil and gas and everything, like, you know. Then you know what kind of mess the country's in now, and that's how it's going to be. And we just can't afford to get our resources away like that. Yeah, it's sad to see the last power station go now, because no matter how many wind farms are built, if there's no wind, there's no electric, is there? Same with solar panels, like, you know, if it's dark, it's not producing any. So, but with this, you've got it all the time. Just switch on, switch off. But yeah, I think they'll live to regret it, like, you know.
Well, it just makes me wonder how we've had all these power stations and how all of a sudden we're going to be able to cope without them. I just wonder when we get at peak times whether we'll need some more power from somewhere. I don't know where it'll come from, but yeah, just a bit worrying really.
It represents a transition now, because it's we know it's the last coal-fired power plant, but I know that Uniper, that owned the site, have always wanted to move on, and the government is wanting us to move rapidly into solar-powered and wind-powered and other forms of cleaner energy generation. So I just see it as a transitional thing, really. And I don't find people worrying too much about it. The main worry will be, how is the site going to be used?
coal. And this is really where it's showing global leadership, phasing out coal as one of the first countries to do so. It sends a very strong message that the UK is taking climate change as a matter of great importance, and also that this is only the first step. So we've got rid of coal, but we now need to get rid of oil and gas, move on to renewables. And the last few years of the gas crisis have shown us that we can't rely on gas either. The UK's 2030 clean power target is obviously very ambitious, one of the most ambitious across Europe and across the world. But the old government had a target for 2035 and 95% clean power by 2030. So really all the political parties are aiming for about the same sort of date. And really it's important because the past few years of the gas crisis have shown us that we can't afford to rely on it anymore, and actually moving towards renewables, cleaning up our power is the way to achieve energy independence, and that's really what the aim of the game is. And that's really as a product of all of the regulation and the policy of the last decade, and it hasn't happened overnight. This has been a long journey, but it's really positive. It really shows that it can be done, and it shows that other countries can follow suit and have an economy that works without coal on it. Impact of this. So it's important that we remember that people along the way have lost jobs in this transition, and that's why we have to make sure that we have a just transition and take people with us towards renewables. But of course, with coal really kicking off the first industrial revolution, and it really shows that times have changed since then, and we've moved on to much more modern technologies, things like renewables, things like electric vehicles, and we no longer need those old sources of energy.